It's a Monday morning. It's August 3rd. McCall, Idaho. The first polar front of autumn, if you will, has moved through. There's a northerly breeze. You can see its impact on the water. You can see the folks standing near the water. The fellow's wearing a jacket or a sweatshirt. So it's not that warm. It's beautiful. That's Brundage in the distance. And this is summer in McCall. It's a Monday, so it's quiet, but it's beautiful out. Light northerly breeze. First taste of autumn here on August 3rd. Daytime highs will hold in the 70s by later in the week. Hey there, Alan here, and let's get caught up. It's been a while. Alan from RVAcrossAmerica.net, and we're going to put this on the web at RVAcrossAmerica.net/Idaho summer. All right, Idaho is in the state, all lowercase, Idaho summer. So let's get caught up. It's been over a month. I am so sorry. I've just gotten caught up with things. It gets hot. I get inefficient. And before you know it, it's the middle of August. So I'm recording this literally in the middle of August. It's been quite a month between the China virus and masks and people varying degrees of insanity as I travel through towns and through counties. It's been an experience. So allow me to kind of refer to my notes once in a while so I kind of keep myself on track and share with you some of the things that are more salient and relevant to you. We're in the dog days of August. In fact, we're right at the cusp of what could be a 4 or 5 day heat wave here in central Idaho mountains. I'm coming to you right now from Donnelly, Idaho, about 12 miles, 14 miles south of McCall and about 14 miles north of Cascade, smack in the middle of Valley County, smack at about 4,800 feet elevation. And you know, the mornings have been in the low to mid 40s. I think we might have even cracked under 40 one morning. The days have been largely in the 70s. We had one day that stayed almost in the 60s. But that's about to end for a few days, but only a few days. And then that probably is it for the heat. That doesn't happen for that long or that extreme at these elevations here in the central Idaho mountains. So Donnelly itself is a small town. For that matter, so is Cascade, so is McCall. It's a neat place. The campground I'm at is, you know, right in line with places I talked about last summer. Second-tier campgrounds. Nothing special about it. Really, nothing special. In fact, the electric is kind of funky, so that some days I can't even get the air conditioner to work. But it's in a beautiful location. I'm about 20 minutes away from the Cascade Aquatic Center, which is just an outstanding outlet for me. I swim there virtually every day, about 600 yards a day, trying to get rid of the gut. I head up to McCall to eat, which puts the gut back on. But what can I tell you? There's a good bakery here in Donnelly. There's a good Italian restaurant here in Donnelly, I'm told. I haven't eaten there yet. And the post office is more than accommodating. They're great people. Some markets in the area. There's 2 markets up in McCall. There's one down in Cascade. All great. And you got the 2 lakes, Lake Cascade, and you've got Payette Lake up in McCall. And lots of great kayaking, swimming even. They put in swimming lanes up in Payette Lake in McCall. Haven't checked those out because I've been at the pool so much, but so be it. Since we last talked, I was in Sugar City, which is just north of Rexburg, which is just north of Idaho Falls. And that's on the east side of the state. It's up around 4,500 feet. I owe you a write-up about the Teton Dam. That's a pretty fascinating story about a dam that failed in 1976. Went out to check out the area, and it's still there for full view. And I'll tell you more when I share the full post. After leaving Sugar City, and by the way, while I was there, I got over to Yellowstone. Got a link in my post to tell you a little bit about Yellowstone, a little bit about the senior pass that I now qualify for that I picked up. and use to get into Yellowstone, and will come in very handy for National Forest Service discounts when it comes to campground sites. Leaving Sugar City, I went to Burley. The biggest highlight that Burley has to me is Goody Ford and a fellow named TJ. TJ is the service manager there. He's honest, he's thorough, he's competent, he has a very competent staff, and I am going out of my way anytime I need service to make sure I'm passing through Burley. Mountain Home. Went to Mountain Home after that. That was about a 2-hour, 3-hour drive across the state towards the west side. Mountain Home is about 40 miles away from Boise. Stopped there mostly to check out an RV dealer that specializes in Renegade. I've had a couple of clients through my concierge service that have looked to me for Super C campers, and Renegade and Nexus have come up and stood out as being superior products. And by the way, my concierge service, which is at rvacrossamerica.net/buy-sell, BUYSELL, is up over 400% this summer. It's unbelievable. You can go there, you can see the reports people are filing, all kinds of great feedback, and people are happy, and I'm happy. And the biggest thing to me is to make sure that I'm helping people to get a quality camper, because there has been a feeding frenzy. There has been a feeding frenzy. I'm going to bring you up to date on that in a minute. After leaving Mountain Home, I went to Emmett. And Emmett is just north of the Treasure Valley, just north of Boise and Meridian and Eagle. Stayed there for a few days to visit with friends in the Treasure Valley. You can hear I still have an occasional cough, but it's a heck of a lot less than it's been. And overall, my health has been absolutely outstanding. I did update my health page, and that I talk about on the site. So when you go to rvacrossamerica.net/Idaho summer, you can see the update on the health page. It'll link you over to it. Emmett's a neat little town, and then from Emmett right up into Valley County, it's a couple-hour drive, if that. And here I am avoiding the heat, so the heat came up and found me. We're going to have a few days over 90, but so be it. Okay, feeding frenzy. It started in early May. And what I've noticed as I track what's going on in Facebook, as I see what's happening on the highways, I mean, I see a lot more campers on the road than before. There are a lot of people who have bought campers this summer, a lot of people. And there are a fair number of people that did not do their due diligence. So what they bought were, well, a lot of the junk, a lot of the poorly made campers that I am always talking about on my site. For those of you who are wondering, well, who am I? And I've got a background in RV sales, I've got a background in engineering, I've got a background in design, and I understand what it takes to build a decent camper. I'm pointing at mine right now, even if you can't see it. It's my Glacier Peak, and I've got reports on my site about my Glacier Peak that explain what it is I look for when I look at a camper, and this is how I help my own concierge clients. So I'm seeing a lot of people buying a lot of junk. And what does that mean to me? It means that many are going to sell as soon as they get the opportunity. And unfortunately, they're going to take a bath, because these things depreciate faster than a rock sinking in water. I guess if I could yell out to the entire world, stop buying junk. Stop buying what is a truly inferior product. And I'm old enough to remember when we, as a group of Americans, turned to the American manufacturers, the car manufacturers, back in the 1970s and said enough. And we started buying Japanese cars and European cars, and people were driving around in those for 15, 20 years until the American car company said, we better build a better product. Well, that's what I'm hoping eventually happens with some of these giant conglomerates that are controlling much of the RV industry. It does not mean that they're all the same. There are several companies out there not under the umbrella of the two giants, and you can reach out to me and ask who those are, that do make a better product, do stand behind that product, and you will be absolutely happier with it. So feel free to reach out to me, and understand I have no affiliation with any company. I have no RV lot that I have 100 campers on and I've got to sell those 100 campers. No. I have no affiliation with any manufacturer. So when people turn to me and say, Alan, what do you recommend? It comes from here, all right? It comes from here, and it comes from here. It comes from knowing what's well made and having a heart to tell people that this is the way to go. Because what's going to happen, what's really going to happen with a lot of these campers in bought, they're going to flood the market. People are going to want to get rid of this stuff, and it may start happening very soon. I'm really not sure. COVID fatigue. Boy, do I have COVID fatigue. And I bet a lot of you guys have COVID fatigue. Again, my health is excellent, and the post on that is rvacrossamerica.net/health2020. That'll show you some updates. And I have traveled, as you followed my travels, or I explained my travels, through a lot of towns that were anywhere from semi-normal, just came out of lunch in Cascade, not wearing a mask, people not uptight about it, sat down, enjoyed food, no special procedures. Went for a swim this morning at the Aquatic Center again, no special procedures. Went down to a flea market, same deal. On the other hand, you go into other areas that are being affected by a lot of tourists, or areas that are a little more city-like, and I get into the details in my post, and boy, what a difference. It's mask city, it's restrictions, it's this, that, and the other thing, and it's an annoyance. It really is. I'm becoming stronger and stronger on my feelings about masks and about how we should be treating this virus. And again, feel free to reach out to me privately if you want to know what I'm doing and what's made me far more cavalier than I was a couple of months ago. Oh, let's see. Upcoming reports. Upcoming reports. And again, all of this stuff, go over to the main post because there's a lot more there. I can't cover it all in a video. I'd be on here for 30 minutes. rvacrossamerica.net/Idaho summer. Upcoming reports. Teton Dam, I promised you that. City of Rocks. When I was in Burley, that's one thing Burley has. Well, it's near. It's about an hour and a half away. City of Rocks is a really interesting place. It's a bunch of rock formations, but it's almost set up like a city, and you know, you go around the rocks and people climb the rocks, and some of them shouldn't be climbing the rocks, but they're big. Several stories tall. It's interesting. Upcoming adventures. I'm going to be moving on from here just after the end of the month. I stayed up here, if for no other reason, to visit with friends up in this area. Remember, I taught at Brundage for 3 winters, so I know people in the area. I feel almost like a local in the area, but I also stayed up here because it's 4,800 feet, and I want to stay away from the heat. The only thing that keeps my sanity when I know we're going to get into the 90s here is knowing that down in the valley it's going to be 10 to 15 degrees warmer. And I'm talking about Treasure Valley, I'm talking about Emmett, that's Boise, Meridian, Caldwell, Nampa, Metro. Unbelievable. When I leave here, I'm headed for Richland, Oregon. There is a small campground alongside a lake, of course. You know me, I'm going to find a lake. I'm going to find a place to paddle. If I can, I'll find a place to swim. I'll find a place to bike. Those are my main 3 recreational activities. And then from Richland, I'll be heading over towards LeGrand. I've got to bring this thing in for a little bit of work. Nothing major, nothing earth-shattering, and some of it is just, you know, I like having them do work on it. So, and then that'll be in the middle of September. Then about a month later, in the middle of October, I'm on my way to Pahrump, Nevada. Nevadans want it pronounced Nevada. Why? There is going to be a firearms course with Rick Green and a constitutional course. So I get 5 days of constitutional and firearms training. Boy, do I need both. No question about it. And then comes winter, and that's going to be a big question mark. I don't know what I'm going to do for winter just yet. I have a couple of possibilities. I'm not going to open my mouth and say what my thoughts are just yet. But got to see how this virus plays out. Got to see how society plays out. There are a lot of variabilities, a lot of variables. Anyway, Alan, rvacrossamerica.net. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the footage at the beginning of this. Some nice paddling footage. I'm sorry, not paddling footage. That was just McCall waterfront footage. Yep. Anyway, rvacrossamerica.net /Idaho summer. See you soon. I do hope to have more posts coming out much more regularly than I've been. I'll do my best. Thank you. Take care.